Okay, this is where we left last week. We have done till question number 11th, out of which we have actually left question number 8th. I would like to do question number 12th first, and then we will get back to the left two questions. Question number 12th, which is also an application of Pythagoras theorem. Question number 12 says there are two poles of heights 6 meters and 11 meters standing on a plain ground. The distance between their feet is 12 meters. Find the distance between their tops. Now I think you can represent this very easily with the help of a diagram. So I'll just quickly just jump to the part where I've already drawn this. Just a minute. So question number 12, we have two poles of heights 6 meters and 11 meters standing on the ground. So I have just drawn that already, and I'll just start with the question here. So you can just label everything in the diagram. So AB is a pole, CD is a pole, and both are perpendicular to the ground, as I've indicated here by showing 90-degree angles. First pole is of height 6 meters and the other one is of height 11 meters. The distance between their feet is 12 meters. You have to find out how far away their tops are. So this is what you need to find out. All right, Sahaj, thank you. So this is what we have. We have the distance between their feet and we need to find out the distance between their tops. So the question is to find out AC. And since this exercise is based on Pythagoras theorem, we should be able to see a right triangle here. So I'm going to construct a parallel right through the top of the first pole, parallel to the ground. So I'm going to construct a line through A, which meets the other pole at a point, say E, and this is parallel to the base. So this will form ABDE as a rectangle. So you can just write down ABDE is a rectangle because we have pairs of opposite sides parallel. So this is a parallelogram in which one angle is 90 degree. If you want, you can write down that it is a parallelogram with two angles 90 degree. So this will be a rectangle. And this will help you write down the measures of all the opposite sides. So AB will be equal to ED. This will be 6 meters. So you can just label that in the diagram here. This will be 6 meters. Opposite sides of rectangle are equal. Similarly, AE will be equal to BD. This will be equal to 12 meters each. Now, based on this, can we find out what will be the length of line segment CE? The total height of the second pole is 11. Till this point, the distance is 6 meters. Can anyone tell me what would be the length of CE?
4 meters.
11 minus 6.
And 5 meters. 5 meters, right? This will be 5 meters. You can indicate this in the figure as well. Now, all this is not necessary to be written. Whatever I've written here, the measures of the sides here, you can directly just mark it in the diagram. आप diagram में mark कर सकते हो rather than writing all this here the way I've written. You can simply mark it in your picture. And after this, we are going to identify the right triangle in which I would like to apply my Pythagoras theorem, and that would be triangle ACE. Triangle ACE is a right triangle, and I'm going to apply Pythagoras theorem. So I will have AC square equals to AE square plus CE square. And you have the values for the base and the perpendicular, and you can now just evaluate by applying your Pythagoras theorem. Anyone with any questions?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
If anyone's writing down, please let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
ओके आपका एक्चुअल में क्वेश्चन तो बहुत छोटा सा है जो नीचे हमने पाइथागोरस थ्योरम अप्लाई की है मेजरली इट्स द पार्ट वेयर यू ऑब्टेन दोज मेजर्स to apply Pythagoras in ACE, you need the base and the perpendicular in order to find out the hypotenuse. That's why we had to do that construction, because of which the lower part becomes a rectangle and the opposite sides are equal. And then you can work with the triangle on top.
Done, ma'am.
Now, after this, we have all the questions which are based on theory. So, application part of Pythagoras theorem is over except for question number 17, which is an MCQ. We'll come back to it later at the end. So, right now we are left with questions in which we have the results as to prove, to prove, to prove. I'm going to question number 8, which we left in between. So, question number 8 here is about a right triangle. O is a point in the interior. Sorry, it's not right triangle, it's just a triangle. So we have triangle ABC here, and O is any point in the interior. From this point, perpendiculars have been drawn on the three sides. So OD is perpendicular, OE is perpendicular to AC, OF is perpendicular to AB. And you need to prove these results. Now, since all of these results are about squares of sides, as you can see, there are some sides which are actually not drawn in the diagram. So अगर आप पहला रिजल्ट ही चेक करते हो, पहले रिजल्ट में उन्होंने पहली जो वैल्यू यूज की है, इट इज OA स्क्वायर. So do you see OA joined anywhere in the picture? Since we require OA, OB and OC in our result, what we will do is we will be writing this as construction to draw OA, OB and OC. We can simply write down join OA, OB and OC, and then we will start with the result. Now, once you draw OA, OB and OC, you will see that you obtain right triangles. So this is the triangle that we have, ABC, in which O is a point in the interior. I've drawn perpendiculars from O onto the three sides, OD on BC, OF on AB, and OE on AC. The first step will be, you can write down the given and the to prove part. After this, we would like to construct according to the result that we require. We want to join the line segments OA, OB, and OC. And why do we need to do this? Because it's actually required in the question. Question में जो आपके paths हैं, they require joining these with each other. So let's join these. You can join them with a dotted line, or you can just directly join them as such. So what happens by doing this, you get right triangles. And before we actually write down the answer, I would like you to observe how many right triangles there are. So I'm going to just number the triangles. So I've got first right triangle over here, triangle AOE, it's a right triangle. Then triangle AOF, then we have triangle BOF, triangle BOD, triangle DOC, and triangle EOC. These are the 6 right triangles that we have. If you want, you can just write down this for yourself so that later on when you revise this, you are aware that there are 6 right triangles and we can use Pythagoras in each of these. Now, depending on what result I require, I will be choosing the triangles very carefully. So I would like you to look at the first result that you have. You've got OA square plus OB square plus OC square minus OD square minus OE square minus OF square equals to AF square plus BD square plus CE square. So looking at the values which are used in the first part, identify the triangles that you would like to use. I'll give you a clue here. If you look at the triangles in which OA is a part, there are 2 triangles. One is triangle number 1 and the other one is triangle number 2. So out of these 2, we need to pick one. And which one we will pick will depend on the other values. So you can see OA along with OE and just a minute, OF and AF. OA, OF and AF. To which triangle do these belong?
Triangle AFO.
That's correct. It's triangle number 2. So this is what we're going to start with. And after this, simply telling you alternate triangles ले लो. इसके साथ जो adjacent triangles हैं वो नहीं लेने. So after 2, you would like to take, I think, triangle number 4. Let us see if that helps. It will have BD, OD and OB. So we will have BD, OD and OB from triangle number 4. And then we will take triangle number 6. Triangle number 6 will give you OE, OC and EC. So these are the three triangles we are going to work with for the first part and apply Pythagoras in each of these. In right triangle AOF, can anyone tell me what's the hypotenuse in this triangle?
AO.
AO.
AO square will be equal to AF square plus OF square. Let's say this is number 1. Then I'm going to take the triangle marked as number 4, triangle BOD.
BOD.
BO square will be equal to
OD square plus BD square.
OD square plus BD square. Let's mark this as number 2. And then finally the triangle marked as number 6, triangle COE. Hypotenuse square equals to the base square plus the perpendicular square. Let's mark this as number 3. Now you have to combine these 3 results based on how they are appearing in your statement to be proved. If you look at the first part, to be proved, OA square, OB square, OC square are to be added. So the first, second and the third result that we just obtained are to be added together. So let's add number 1, number 2 and number 3 and let us see what we have. OA square plus OB square plus OC square from the left hand side. From the right hand side, I have AF square plus OF square plus OD square plus BD square plus EC square plus OE square. I'm going to modify this a little bit so that it matches with what I want to prove. I would like to have these three values, the ones I'm underlining, on the left hand side. And once I transpose these to the left hand side, these will be written with a negative sign. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So now you can
Yes,
match
ma'am.
this with what you wanted to prove. Is that the same result we wanted to prove?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, looking at the second result has the right hand side from the first part. Actually, the right hand side of the first part becomes left hand side in the second result. I'm going to write that result over here. What I want to prove, I've got AF square plus BD square plus CE square equals to AE square plus CD square plus BF square. This is what I want to prove. First result is equal to AF square plus BD square plus CE square. This value on the right hand side in part 1 is further equal to AE square plus CD square plus BF square. So I would like you to just remember one more thing here. जैसे आपने पहले triangles लिए थे number 2, number 4 and number 6. Now I want you to take triangle number 1, triangle number 3 and triangle number 5. The three triangles that we did not use in first part now will be used for second part. And do it exactly like you did in the first part. आपके पास तीन results बनेंगे by using Pythagoras theorem, and I want you to add those three results. If anyone's writing down from here, please let me know, because I will be going a little further down so that I can write down. So I'm going to take right triangle AOE, and by using Pythagoras theorem, I will have OA square equals to OE square plus AE square. Let's say this is number 4. Triangle number 3 now. Triangle number BOF. And then finally triangle number 5. Exactly the same thing. Now add the three results. What did we do after this? Addition के बाद next step क्या था? Transpose these three values from right hand side to the left hand side. So you will have OA square plus OB square plus OC square minus OD square minus OE square minus OF square equals to AE square plus BF square plus CD square. Now I want you to compare the result that you obtained in part number 1 with the result that you obtained here. What do you see? It's just an observation.
LHS is common.
LHS is same. So for star and double star, since left hand sides are same, we can equate the right hand sides as well. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So simply from star and the double star results, we will have the right hand sides equal to each other, which proves the result you have to in question number 8. इसको इस तरह से सोचना, कई बार आप जब कॉन्ग्रुएंस के क्वेश्चंस करते थे लास्ट ईयर या फिर आप सिमिलैरिटी करके आए हो, तो रिजल्ट्स इस तरह से होते हैं कि फर्स्ट वन के बाद सेकंड वन प्रूव होता है, सेकंड के बाद थर्ड प्रूव होता है, और कहीं उनको यूज करके आगे वाले आंसर्स आते हैं. यहाँ पे उन्होंने एक इंटरमीडिएट रिजल्ट नहीं दिया हुआ. Suppose question ये होता that you had to prove this result which is marked as star, and then you had to prove the result which is marked as double star, and then finally आपके पास ये वाला result होता third one. Then you would have known कि क्या करना है. उन्होंने ये बीच में से जो second double star result है ये नहीं आपको दिया हुआ. This is something you had to think yourself कि हम ये प्रूव करेंगे फिर हमारे पास वो रिजल्ट आएगा. एंड द इजीएस्ट वे टू रिमेंबर दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन इज कि आपके पास 6 ट्राइंगल्स बनने हैं और आपने ऑल्टरनेट लेने हैं. सो जस्ट मार्क द ट्राइंगल्स एज 1 to 6 एंड देन टेक ऑल्टरनेटिव्स लाइक 1 3 5 2 4 6. उन सभी में पाइथागोरस लगाकर आप ऐड करोगे तो 2 सेपरेट रिजल्ट्स आएंगे. उन 2 सेपरेट रिजल्ट्स से आपके पास रिक्वायर्ड आंसर्स आ जाएंगे. Anyone with any questions here? If anyone's writing down, please let me know.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, done.
Question number 13. We have points D and E marked on sides CA and CB of triangle ABC right angled at C. Now in this question, the triangle that you want to draw is a right triangle and the right angle will be at C. You begin with this, then you mark points D and E on the sides CA and CB respectively, and then we need to prove this result. Let's draw the diagram first and then see. So I have a right triangle here. I'm just going to label it. Remember, the right angle should be at C, and you can mark A and B on the other two ends. So I'm going to mark A here and B here. Further, I need to take a point D on CA, and I want to take a point E on CB. You can write down the given and true proof part yourself. To prove AE square plus BD square equals to AB square plus DE square. The result that you need to prove contains AE, BD, and DE, which I do not see in the picture. So you will need to join these. So you can write down as construction or you can do it without writing it down. First of all, join AE, BD, and DE. So this is what you will have. It's not necessary to write this as construction. You can do it without writing it down. It's completely fine. Now we are going to start with the proof. Again, we will be using Pythagoras theorem. And in order to use Pythagoras theorem, you have to identify the right triangles that you can see in this picture. So there is one original right triangle, which is ABC. एक तो आपके पास ये right triangle है. Can you identify any other right triangle?
DCB.
Easy.
Yeah, there is one which is B, C, D. This is number 2.
DCE.
Okay, there is a smaller triangle here which is DCE. Let's say this is number 3.
AC.
AEC.
That's correct. The one on the base here, ACE. These are the 4 right triangles that we have. I want you to apply Pythagoras in each of these. The 4 triangles that you have identified, apply Pythagoras in each of these. So you can write down in right triangle ABC, we have AB square equals to AC square plus BC square. Let's mark this as number 1. Then in the second right triangle, in right triangle BDC, we have BD square equals to BC square plus CD square. Let's mark it as number 2. Then in right triangle DEC, we have DE square equals to DC square plus EC square, number 3. And then in right triangle AEC, we have AE square equals to AC square plus CE square. This is number 4. Now, the result that we want to prove has addition of AE square and BD square. Can you identify the 2 results which we will add to obtain the left-hand side?
Second and fourth.
Second and fourth. Let's add second and fourth. Be very careful. Left hand sides will be added together and right hand sides will be added together. Once you have done this, you've added 2 and 4. This is LHS of a required result. So we have the left hand side. Right hand side needs to be simplified. On the right hand side, observe the terms in this way. First one with the third one and second one with the fourth one. What will be the values for these?
AB square plus DE square.
Does it prove the
मैम
required result?
फर्स्ट और थर्ड की लेफ्ट हैंड साइड ले लेंगे.
That's right. So this is what you wanted to prove. This is one way of doing it. आपने जब ये 4 रिजल्ट्स लिख लिए, आपने अपनों सॉरी, you will look at what you want to prove and based on that हमने second और fourth result को add किया था. When you add equation number 2 and equation number 4, you actually obtain the left hand side as required. और right hand side की simplification हमने की using result number 1 and result number 3 and you actually get what you wanted. इसको करने का एक वे और है which is actually preferred by many students. So what you can do is जैसे आप ट्रिग्नो के रिजल्ट्स नहीं प्रूव करके आए हो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड इक्वल टू राइट हैंड साइड आइडेंटिटीज.
Yes, ma'am.
You can prove it that way also. Use the values of AE square, BD square from equation number 2, equation number 4 on left hand side to prove वाले part में. Left hand side पे values use कर लो और right hand side पे values use कर लो and you will see that the answer on LHS is equal to our answer on the right hand side and then you can say LHS is equal to RHS, hence proof. Does that make sense to you? Or should I
Yes,
show it?
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay,
And please scroll down the screen.
well, just a minute.
Done, ma'am.
After this, we have question number 14th. Question number 14th and 15th are very important. Question number 14 says that you have a perpendicular from A on side BC of a triangle ABC, and as such, nothing is given about this triangle. So you will draw a simple triangle, not a right triangle. Triangle ABC will be a regular triangle. The figure is given here, triangle ABC, figure 6.55. It's not a right triangle. From the vertex A, perpendicular has been drawn on the base BC, and then you have to prove the result which is given. Along with this, you have DB equals to 3 times CD. So DB is equal to 3 times CD. If you take CD as X, DB will be 3X. This is what's given to you. Using this, you have to prove that twice AB square equals to twice AC square plus BC square. And the results that you see here, the required answer contains AB square, AC square, BC square. And as you can see, AB is actually the hypotenuse on this triangle, triangle 1, you could say. And then AC is the hypotenuse of the second triangle. Whereas BC is the base of the whole triangle. It does not belong to any right triangle at all. So you need to work with these triangles side by side, and then we will see what we can do to find out our answer. Draw the diagram. Now we have just two right triangles here. After this, we are going to modify the result on the left hand side. The first result that we have, AB square equals to AD square plus BD square, in order to obtain what we want in the question. Now there will be a few things you want to remember in this particular part. You can mark that for yourself, or you can learn it in a way, because this is how it can be done. If you figure out any other way, just let me know. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to write down BD as BC minus CD. And why I've done this, because the result that I want to prove does not contain BD at all. The result contains BC. I had to introduce BC somehow. So BD can be written as BC minus CD. This Bracket will be expanded using the identity a minus b whole square. So you will have a square plus b square minus 2 times a into b. At this point, I want you to observe these two terms. And what will be the value from equation number 2? All right, Shreyas. Let me just do one more step and then you people can go. AD square plus CD square from equation number 2 will be AC square. And this is what you will have. After this, we shall be continuing tomorrow. You can go and join your next class. Yes, Shreyas, you can send it to me right now.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, Vita.
Thank you, ma'am.